Hey everyone, it's Channon Rose, and I am back with this beautiful creation that I made. This is Snow Rose. Snow, do you want to say hi to everybody? Hi everyone! Say, I'm Snow. So in today's video, it is long overdue. I'm gonna be doing my birth story. So yeah, if you're curious about my birth and how I managed to create this and how she came out of me, keep watching. So before we get into the video, I need to thank today's sponsor, which is Care of Vitamins. Care of makes it easy to make sure that you're getting the vitamins your body needs. You take a short and fun quiz that asks you questions about your diet and your lifestyle and your health needs, and then Care of recommends the right vitamins for you and ships them straight to your door every month in convenient, easy to go daily packs, perfect for a busy lifestyle. They come in a box just like this, and it is customized with your name on it, which I think is really cool. It comes with this really cool dispenser, and not only that, but it has your name on it, and then they customize all the vitamins that you would need in one spot, and it just makes it really easy, especially if you're busy and on the go. Sometimes you can forget to take your vitamins, and so this is a great way to remind yourself, and all of your vitamins are in one spot. Another really cute touch that they do is they put like a cute little quote or challenge on each packet, like vitamin packet, so I think that that's really fun. So the quiz that you take to get these customized for you, it basically asks you questions about your diet and your lifestyle and your health goals and need. It's like having a session or consultant with a nutritionist, and then Care of recommends the best supplements for you. I love this because having a new baby, like my life is so chaotic right now. Everything's all over the place. I definitely don't remember to take my vitamins, but with these, everything is in one spot, and it makes it easy for me. And I think it's also really good that I'm remembering to take my vitamins because I'm breastfeeding, and it's important to make sure that I'm, getting all my nutrition and getting all the proper vitamins that I need to be able to be healthy for me so that I can keep her healthy. Another thing I really like is their transparency. It tells you all the exact ingredients that are in each vitamin. I'm also taking a prenatal vitamin that's in here, and also DHA and a few others that are important for me. Especially with the new year here, I just wanted to make sure that I'm taking like really good care of myself. With having a baby, I just like want to be at my best, and so I just think it's really important to be taking good care of myself, and Care of helps me with that. I definitely noticed that when I take my vitamins, I feel a lot better, I have more energy, and I just feel good all around. So I love Care of for making it easy to remember and fun to take my vitamins. So Care of was nice enough to give the first 100 people that sign up and order this 50% off their order. So if you guys are interested, again, the link will be down in the description box below, and also here on the screen. Don't forget my promo code is Channon to get that 50% off. So thank you again, Care of, for sponsoring this video. Okay, so let's get into my birth story because, oh my goodness, for one, I still can't even believe that I have a baby. I like look down at her and I'm like, oh my God, I have a baby, she's mine. For those of you guys that don't know or haven't followed my full journey, I never thought I'd be able to have a baby. We went through years of infertility. Apparently I can't talk today. Just did multiple rounds of IUI. We did IVF. We had one embryo that survived, and that ended up being Snow. And I just still am kind of in shock. I can't believe it, even though it's been 3 months. I still am in shock. It's just so crazy to me. But another thing that was kind of crazy was the birth and how she came out. And I was so nervous, you guys. I have such bad anxiety. I have generalized anxiety disorder, and I have panic disorder. So to have her, let's just say I was very scared. I was very scared. And another thing is, I didn't know if I was gonna be able to have an epidural, which I definitely wanted the drugs. I wanted all of the drugs from the very beginning. I have the mentality, if I can have something that's gonna make it so that I don't have to be in pain, then I would take it. Do you know what I mean? I'm the type of person that if I have a headache, I take Tylenol, most of the time. I'm give me the drugs. All of them, the good ones. Oh God, I want all the good drugs. Going into this, I didn't know if I was gonna be able to have an epidural because I was in a really bad car accident when I was younger, and I broke my back. I was actually paralyzed from the waist down. That's a whole other story time. It's actually on my channel. If I can remember to link it, I will. If not, maybe someone can in the comment section. But I have a huge scar down the center of my back, and it's been cut through multiple times because I've had multiple surgeries on my back since the car accident. A lot of times, anesthesiologists, when you're having a baby, won't give you an epidural because of that. Like, I think if you have like scoliosis, or like there's certain anesthesiologists that are okay with giving epidurals, and then there's some that don't feel comfortable with it. And so you just don't know. It's kind of like up in the air, and you can't make an appointment with an anesthesiologist like when you're pregnant. At least I couldn't in my case, to be like, hey, can you check me out and see if you're going to be able to give me an epidural? It was kind of just like very unknown, and that gave me so much anxiety. Like, I was just like having the worst anxiety because I didn't know if I was going to have to like feel this baby like come out of me, you know what I mean? And I did not want to. I was really scared of that. I hired a doula. I ended up not using the doula, even though I totally paid for her, and we'll get into that in a minute. I hired a doula in case I wasn't able to have an epidural, so that I could have somebody help me, coach me through this, right? So that was like my way of helping to ease a little bit of my anxiety, was hiring the doula. Yeah, so just so you have a little bit of the backstory. Okay, so now let's get into like what actually happened. So towards the end of my pregnancy, I could barely walk, you guys. I was in so much pain. I was literally crawling to the bathroom at night because I couldn't walk. Like, my back was just like done for. I was so over being pregnant. Like, I was just praying that my water would break, like literally praying my water would break. And the heavenly gods answered my prayer, because what do you know, at like 4 o'clock in the morning, I'd gotten up, crawled to the bathroom, peed, and then came back. And as I got into bed, I felt like stuff going down my legs. And I was like, oh my God, please God, tell me my water just broke. And I went to get back up out of bed. And as I'm like crawling back to the bathroom, I'm like, yep, I knew it. I knew my water broke. I just like, I don't know what it was, but it was something in me. Some people like say like they felt like they might have peed themselves and like they didn't know if their water broke. I for sure 100% knew my water had broke, and I was so confident that I literally called my mom and my sister right away, who live in LA, and I live like near Sacramento, so they were gonna have to like fly up because they wanted to be there for the birth. I literally called them at like 4 in the morning and said my water broke, get on a plane and like come here. Because originally I was gonna wait until I got to the hospital just to confirm that my water broke, because once your water breaks, they admit you right away, and you know that you're gonna have the baby within 24 hours, at least at my hospital. I called them because I already knew. So I woke him up and I'm like, my water broke, babe, let's get ready, let's go to the hospital. And he's like, are you sure your water broke? And I like literally looked at him with eyes, and I was like, my water broke. Get your stuff together, we're going to the hospital. You know, like I was on one, you guys, because I was just so ready to have this baby. I don't know if you've had a baby before or not, but like for me, being that pregnant, I think, how many weeks was I? I think I was like 38 weeks pregnant. I was just like done, so done. I wanted the baby out of me like ASAP. I have to rewind. My husband, I love him to death, but he is the slowest human being to do anything like on the planet, right? Like he literally takes forever to do everything. I do hair, makeup, all this stuff, and I'm still waiting on my husband to leave the house. I don't know what it is, but that's just how he is. And so I had told him for weeks and weeks and weeks, I think I was like 6 months pregnant, I told him, have your hospital bag ready, right? Because like when I'm ready to be going to the hospital, like I'm not gonna wanna be waiting on you, and I'm gonna be freaking out, and I just want everything to be like ready to go. I think I timed him, and I don't remember exactly, but I know it's in like my birth vlog video, like where we filmed like the actual birth and everything. In that video, I think I timed him, and it was like 45 minutes or something. It took him like almost an hour basically to leave the house when my water broke, which is totally fine. It wasn't like a huge rush for us to get to the hospital, but I wanted to get to the hospital right away because that's just how I am. I feel like less anxious that way, and it took him like forever, right? So I was like yelling at him. So we get to the hospital, they check everything, like they basically like swab you to make sure that your water broke. So we did that. They confirmed my water broke, they admitted me, and then like Travis looks up at the ceiling in the room that we're in, and there's like a huge like thing on the ceiling of like wet and mold, right? Travis like, we're not staying in this room. So like the nurse comes in and he's like, he just points to the ceiling, he's like, we need to switch rooms. And she's like, oh my gosh, we didn't see that, we're so sorry. So then they switch us rooms, which I liked anyways, because I know it sounds really weird, but like the way the bed was facing in that room, like my energy just felt off. I don't know if like I'm crazy. I mean, I know I'm crazy, but like, does anybody else get that? Like where you're like, if your bed is like laying a certain way in a room or a hotel or something that you're staying in, like it just feels off. Like, you don't like, I didn't like it. So like the next room we went into, the bed was a different way and I liked it, and it just made me feel a lot better about having her in that room. I know it's weird, but like I just wanted to include that in the story because that was just like how I was feeling. My water broke and I wasn't having like super bad like pains or like contractions or anything. And I was like walking around, like, cause they were like, you know, you should walk around to try to get things moving, and we'll give you like, you know, I think they gave me like a few hours or something before they were gonna have to give me Pitocin to get like my contractions going and for me to dilate more. I forget like how far dilated I already was. Like I was already dilated at like my last doctor checkup. I can't remember, it's been so long. This is why I should have done this video sooner. But of course, knowing me, I like procrastinate and wait 3 months until after I had the baby. Yeah, so I was dilated. I can't remember. I wasn't dilating like they wanted me to. And I was like walking, doing rounds around the hospital, and like my mom and my sister had got in, and it was just like, everything was going really well. Now, I didn't end up calling my doula, and I'll tell you why. Because the last time I had met with her, she was telling me things that like, she was giving me anxiety basically, like what she was telling me, because I was saying like, you know, if for some reason I do not have this baby by 40 weeks, like I'm gonna wanna be induced because I'm just in too much pain. And I was like trying to tell her, and she was like, oh, you don't wanna do that. Like you're gonna be in the hospital for like 3 or 4 days. And you know, it was just like, I don't know, she was like telling me things that were literally like freaking me out and like that I had never heard of before. And then I like looked it up and I talked to some people and they're like, that doesn't sound right. And so I just felt really uncomfortable with her after that and ended up like not using her. And I just felt like she was causing more anxiety than I wanted. You know, like she was there to lessen my anxiety, and I probably would have had a lot of use for her because my epidural failed, and we'll get to that in a minute, but I kind of wish I did call her now, but yeah, she just was giving me anxiety, so that's why I didn't end up hiring her. Or not hiring, I already hired her. I already paid her, just so everyone knows. Not like I didn't pay her or anything. I paid her like the full amount, which was a lot, and I didn't even end up using her. That sucked, but whatever. It is what it is. We get there, all of a sudden, I start getting like contractions, right? Like they're starting to like actually really hurt. And I'm like, okay, this really hurts. I want the epidural. They didn't want to give me the epidural until I forget how far dilated I was. I think they said like 4 or 5 centimeters they wanted to give me the epidural. They wanted me to wait till that time. And I started having contractions and I'm like, oh my God, I'm definitely like a 6. I need the epidural, like hurry up and get the anesthesiologist in here, right? She's like, do you want me to check you? And they don't check you very often when your water breaks because of like a risk of infection or whatever. And I was like, yes, check me because I want the epidural. Like I started like panicking, like freaking out because I was like starting to become in a lot of pain. So she checks me, right? And she's like, oh, I think you're only like a 2 or something. I forget what it was. I don't know. I don't know exactly. You'll have to go back and watch like the actual vlog. But I wasn't like far enough along to get the epidural, but because my water had broke and like I was gonna be having the baby anyways, they were like, it's fine, we'll just give you the epidural. Thank God, because I have like no idea how women do this with no drugs. Like I really don't. So they came in and I think out of everything, I was most scared of the epidural because of my back situation. I don't even like people touching my back, let alone sticking like a needle and like all these drugs like through it when my back's like already jacked up. So I was really, really nervous. Like I almost hyperventilated and like passed out. If you go watch the video, I'm like literally the nurse is telling me like, you need to slow down your breathing. Stop grabbing me. She tells me like in one part, she's like, stop grabbing me. You need to grab the pillow. You need to slow down your breathing. Cause I was like, legitimately like hyperventilating and about to pass out. I was so scared and like so nervous about this. I have to poop. I'm nervous like thinking about this right now. I have to poop. I'm gonna have to stop. We're gonna do a little intermission. Get yourself some tea or coffee or a snack, girl, because your girl's gotta poop. Intermission. Break time. BRB. I'm telling this story and rehashing it is literally making me nervous all over again. Okay, so basically during the epidural, I literally thought I was gonna die. I was like so freaked out, and when they were giving it to me, I felt like crazy, like electrocute, why can I not talk? Like almost like electric shocks like going down like my leg and like my back. It was like really scary. And I was like, is this normal? You know, like my anxiety was like so high, I can't even tell you. It was fine. Everything happened. Like I don't think that the medicine went maybe like all where it should have. I think what happened was maybe like 20-30% of the epidural actually worked, and the rest I felt everything. Literally for hours. So my water broke at 4 a.m. I got to the hospital around like, I don't know, 5 something. And then I didn't have Snow until like 1 o'clock in the morning the next day. So I was literally in labor for almost 24 hours, for hours and hours and hours. I was literally in so much pain. Every freaking contraction, I was like in pain. I was freaking hot. It was awful. I think most of all, I was just exhausted. I've never been that tired in my whole entire life. And let me tell you, I've done drugs and stayed up for days, and I was not even that tired then when I was like up for days doing, probably because I was on drugs, right? Oh my God. This was like another level of exhaustion. It took so much out of me going through and feeling all of those contractions for that long period of time. It was just like, it was a lot, you guys. And I think I was also having like back labor. Oh, I forgot this part. So for the epidural, you know, you get like a button and you can like press it and like more medicine comes in. Nobody freaking told me I had a button. Okay, maybe that's why I felt all my contractions for so long. So then finally on the next shift, when the next nurse comes in, I'm telling her I'm in so much pain. And she was kind of a better nurse than the first one I had, because the first nurse, for one, didn't even tell me about my freaking epidural button. And she knew I was in like tons of pain this whole time and never asked to like have the anesthesiologist come back in to like evaluate me or like change something. She was just like telling me it was normal. When the second nurse came in, who was like super sweet, she was like, oh honey, push your button. And I was like, I have a button? This is news to me. Like no one told me I had a freaking button. And I was in too much pain and like too much anxiety to even know that like I should have had a button, you know? Maybe it's my fault, I don't know. So finally I get the button and I press it, and all of a sudden that medicine goes down my back, and the whole part of like my upper back literally like cramped up and like would cause so much, it honestly caused more pain. I was in more pain when I pushed that button because it was like, I think doing something really weird. And they were like, that's not supposed to happen. Like that's not normal. And I was like, don't press that button again, because it literally caused so much pain for me. So I did keep pushing that. And then she had the anesthesiologist come in, bless his heart, but he did not have very good bedside manner. He literally came in and just put something in my thing and then left. Like didn't tell me what he was doing. And with somebody with anxiety, like I like to be told exactly what's going on, like what in line, what they're doing, you know, and like when they're doing it, what medicine are you giving me? Like, how is it gonna make me feel? Like, I like to know all that stuff. And like, I was telling him like, oh, what are you giving me? And he like literally didn't say anything to me. He literally just gave me the medicine and left. And I was just like freaking out because I didn't know what he gave me, but whatever it was, it helped for like maybe 30 minutes and then it went away. So I don't know what he did. I think it was like a bolus or something. I don't know, because he didn't tell me what it was. So then the nurse, who's so sweet, comes back in and she's like, are you feeling better? I'm like, yeah, but it's like gone. Like I'm feeling all my pain again. Should I have the anesthesiologist come back in? And I was like, no, I'm scared of him. Don't send him back in here. I don't know what he doesn't tell me what he's doing. And it like freaked me out. So then I got to the point where like the pain was getting really bad again. So I was like, yes, send him back in, because like I needed drugs, right? Like I wanted them, I felt too much and I was like done. So then it got to the point where I was getting like closer to her actually like coming out. And so they were like, sorry, it's too late to give you more medicine. So you're just gonna have to like, you know, grin and bear it. So I'm like, oh my God. And by the way, I have to mention this because I know some of you guys who watch the birth videos or birth vlogs are probably gonna ask about my sister who was there, who was like my biggest cheerleader, and she was very vocal in the room. I didn't notice it as much because like I said, I was so exhausted, but like watching the videos back, she was like really loud and like she was just trying to be helpful, obviously, but for a lot of people, they thought it was like annoying or whatever, and like you know, I could see that, but just know she meant well. And she was just trying to help me out, and she was very excited for that baby to come. So a lot of stuff is happening. Literally hours are going by and I can't eat anything and I'm freaking hungry. And they're like, do you want a popsicle? Like the nice nurse. I was like, yes, I want a popsicle. And if you watch my birth vlogs, I'm like literally like snacking on a popsicle and like trying to push a baby out. Like no joke, that's happening like in my birth vlog. So hungry. My whole mouth is like purple from popsicles. I didn't even know I could have a popsicle. I thought I could only eat like ice and stuff. I'm so glad I had that second nurse. I wish she was there the whole time. She was giving me good drugs. She was giving me popsicles. I liked her. I'm like eating a popsicle and pushing a baby out. I'm in so much pain. By the way, I just looked a mess. You know, you see all these women, they're like all glammed out, looking like super hot, like pushing their babies out. That was not me, okay? There was nothing hot about anything going on with my birth. I woke up at 4 in the morning. I didn't put any makeup on. Actually, I packed makeup thinking like, oh, once I get my epidural, I'm gonna feel so good. I'm gonna be able to take a nap and do glam. And let me tell you, that did not happen because my epidural did not work. I had no glam. Not only did I have not a stitch of makeup on, I looked terrible, right? Because I'm super tired. And not only that, but like my hair, because I was like hot and like sweating and like, you know, pushing the baby out, I was like asking for like wet washcloths, and my hair is not naturally straight like this. So it got like all frizzy and like just freaking everywhere. It was not, I was not looking cute, okay? You are able to see that when I pushed that baby out, but I didn't really care. I just wanted her out. So it gets to the point where now she's like coming, and I'm telling the nurse, like, I want to push, like, I'm ready, right? You can feel when you don't have an epidural. I had an epidural, but it didn't work. When your epidural's not working or you don't get one, you can feel like when you're ready to push. At least I could. I told the nurse, like, I'm ready to push. And she's like, okay. So we start like pushing, and the doctor is not there, by the way. They haven't even paged my doctor yet, but they're telling me to push. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna trust them. They know what they're doing. And the doctor is supposedly not very far away. Like, his house is not very far away. So they're pushing, they're like, do you want a mirror? Do you want to see? I'm like, hell yeah, bring it out. Like, I want to see what's going on here. They brought this whole mirror. I didn't even know they had these, but they do. They're really cool. If your hospital has one and you're gonna have a baby, I would definitely recommend asking for the mirror so you could see, because it's kind of neat to be able to see like progress, you know, of all the hard work that you're pushing out. I was pushing for freaking ever. And I could start to see like the head coming out, and I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. So then they take the mirror away, and I'm still pushing, and my doctor's still not there. And it gets to the point where now she's like ready to come out. Like, I'm ready to push her out. And they're like, hey, Shannon, you need to stop pushing. Excuse me, what? I'm not gonna stop pushing. Are you kidding me? This is what I was thinking in my head, even though I was so exhausted. But I was like, no, like, I really need to push. And they're like, your doctor's not here yet. And like, they basically wanted me to stop my pushing until the doctor got there. That was probably the most difficult thing, was to not push when my body felt like it needed to. I did not like that I had to stop pushing. That was like not a thing that I was very happy about. And her head was literally like out of me, like, I feel like this much. And like, I had to like wait and hold her there through contractions until my doctor got there. And then finally, I don't even know how long had passed, but I was like, listen, I'm pushing this baby out. I don't care if my doctor's not here. Go get me another doctor. I'm pushing the baby out. And as soon as like I couldn't hold her in any longer, my doctor's like literally walking in as I'm saying, he probably heard me say, I want a different doctor, like, give me whatever doctor, I don't care. So he comes in, he's the most like mellow guy ever, right? And he's in there, whatever, and he's like, okay, we're pushing. And like my sister, I hear my sister screaming at me like, she's here. And I'm like, okay, I know she's not here because I'm still pushing. You know what I mean? But she meant like her head is here. Like, her head was coming out. You know, I'm pushing and like the baby is still not coming out. And honestly, it hurt so bad. And you hear me say like, it hurts so bad. Burning and painful. And I literally felt like my whole like cupcake was just like totally ripping apart, which it did. I had a 3rd-degree tear. But hold on. So then, like, everyone's like cheering me on. I guess that's what I'll say. They were cheering me on to get the baby out. And there was just so much going on. I was so exhausted. There were so many, I was getting directions from so many different people that I kind of just tuned everybody out and was just like, kind of just trying to listen to my doctor and like the nurse. Eventually, the doctor is like, everyone be quiet. And like, when the doctor said that, I kind of like freaked out a little bit, because my doctor is like I said, super laid back. And she was like stuck, right? Like, she was not coming out. So he had to like stick his hands inside of me and try to like pull her out. And he's been doing this a really long time. And finally, you guys, she came out. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. She was like totally fine. She had swallowed a little bit of like amniotic fluid, I think. But they thought her shoulder might be broken because like she got stuck. in there, and the doctor was like, whew, like when she came out, because I think like he was getting kind of nervous and he wanted everyone to shut up in the room because it was like way too loud, people like yelling and saying different stuff, and he needed to like concentrate on getting the baby out. It was like, you know, kind of like a serious moment in the room, and it scared me a little bit. But again, I was so exhausted that like I couldn't even get that scared because I was just so tired. But she came out, she was born at 1 a.m. My beautiful little girl, you guys. They put her up on my chest, and I just looked at her and I was like, oh my God, do you know that I'm your mom? Like, I was just like, I thought in my head that I would be so emotional and start crying when she was there. But you guys, it's like totally, like you think and like plan that that's like what's gonna happen. At least that's what I did. Not plan, but like you think that's what's gonna happen. And it wasn't like that for me at all. I can't tell you, like, I just was so, I keep saying I was so exhausted and so tired, but like I was just so tired and done that like I could barely, like I was just so weak, I could barely hold her. I was so happy she was there. And then all of a sudden, I felt a needle in my vagina because they were stitching me back together. Literally, for one, I just lost so much blood was like coming out like at this point, like after she was already out. They delivered my placenta. I asked to see it. I saw it, looked crazy. Then they, you know, they gave her to me, and then they started stitching me up, and I couldn't hold my baby anymore because I was in so much pain. And I remember the doctor saying like, oh, you should probably hit your epidural button for this. And I was like, I'm not doing that. And it's, for one, it's not working. It's causing more pain. And then the nurse says like, oh, I have some lidocaine. And he just, I think, ignores the lidocaine and just starts stitching me up. And I'm like, oh my God, I feel this. It hurts so bad. Like, I don't know why they didn't just numb me up, but they didn't. And so I felt all these stitches, and it was like so painful. It was probably one of the craziest things I've ever done was give birth that way. I think everybody's birth story is so different, and everyone has such a different experience. That was mine. It was crazy. It was painful. It was exhausting. And I would do it all over again just so that I can have my little girl, because she literally is my whole life. Like, honestly, I'm not gonna cry and get emotional, but like, I've never been happier in my whole entire life until now when she's here. Like, I just have experienced true happiness, and I love her so much. And my birth was just like really crazy. I feel like you had to be there. And a lot of people have asked to see like the unedited birth version, because we filmed like her actually coming out of the vagina, like him stitching me up, like we show like the placenta and all that stuff. And I'm gonna upload a video showing all of it. I just have to I think I have to like make sure it's like 18 and over or something for YouTube. I just don't want my channel to get penalized for putting that up. So I'm trying to like go about it the right way, and I have to like blur people's faces out and stuff. So it takes a long time, but just be patient with me. I'm a procrastinator. It takes me a long time to do things, but I promise I will get that video up. That was my birth story. I'm sure I'm missing like tons of stuff, but it was really crazy and really scary and really amazing. And yeah, now she's here. I'm so happy. I can't believe I did it. Honestly, I cannot believe that I had a baby out of my vagina. For one, I didn't think like I would be able to do it. And I thought I was just gonna have a C-section, because for me, that's easier. But I did it. It was really crazy, and obviously something I'll never forget. I said after that, I'm never doing this again. Like, after the pregnancy was so hard for me, getting pregnant was so hard for me, having the baby, like the birth, everything was like really difficult for me. I know it's not like that for everyone, but for me, it was just really challenging. And I said, I'm never doing this again. And now, I think it was like a month or two later, I was like, okay, I would do it again. Definitely want another baby. So we are gonna be trying to have baby number 2, not anytime soon, but, well, not anytime soon because my clock is ticking, but like not like in the next few months or anything, but we'll keep you posted. Anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much again for all your love and support. I'm sending you all my love and all my positive energy, and I hope to see you in my next video.